Hi y'all, I'm going to walk you through a dip mani that I'm going to do. I'm going to use 3 Revel colors, Defy, Hustler, and Empire. And I'm going to use the 4-step system iGel Beauty dip liquids along with my Old Faithful ManiBoss peel base. So I've already prepped my nails with the builder gel. I'm going to go ahead and do a thin layer of the peel base. Now, I like to do my manis every other day-ish, sometimes every day. So I'm going to do a pretty generous layer straight down the middle, kind of extending to the sides of the peel base. And then I'm going to let it completely dry. I'm going to do both hands, and then I'm going to do a second layer, just because I really want to make sure she pops off. Alright, while I'm waiting for my second coat of the peel base to dry, I'm just going to go through the products that I'm going to be using today. So I have this 4-step system of the iGel Beauty. This is their dip liquids. I absolutely love iGel Beauty. So I initially started using their gel liquids and figured I should give their dip liquids a try. So it's a 4-step system, the base coat, the activator, the top coat, and it comes with a brush saver. I like to switch out when I'm completely done. I'll switch out the base coat and the brush saver brushes and just let the base coat brush soak overnight in the brush saver, just so it doesn't get all gunked up and hardened. But I absolutely love this system. I have great results with it. Minimal filing. I never get any cuticle flooding. I am a huge fan. In addition to the 4-step iGel dip liquids, I am using 3 Revel dip powders. They're brand new to me, but I am going to be duping Trish's nail inspo off of Instagram for this mani, and I'm super excited because I have been eyeing it up for a long time. I've just gotten around to it on my list. I have a precision tool or a cuticle tool, and this is what I use to go around my cuticles to make sure I don't get any cuticle flooding. I have a brush and another cuticle tool if needed, and then a stiff brush. I also like to use these little silicone containers. You'll see little cupcake liners and stuff like that. I like these just because the powder doesn't stick to it. So whenever I go to pour it out, nothing sticks to the container, which is really nice. You know what? So I swatch out my nail colors before I put them away whenever I get them new. This is the 3 set right here that I was going to do. So you can see Defy, Empire, and Hustler. But I really think that this West Coast Dips Vancouver dark purple would look better than this Defy. So I'm going to use this Vancouver in place of Defy. So I'm going to do this. I think this is going to be a great trio. So that's a really good point, I think, to make of swatching and why do we swatch our powders out. Makes it super easy for you to see, because when you look at the powders in the containers, they look nothing like what they actually are going to be as a finished product. So I'm switching those 2 out. So I'm going to start with my index finger. So I have the base coat. I'm going to start with a thin layer, and I try to be as close and as far away to my cuticle as possible. So you do not want to actually touch the cuticle skin. Try and get a nice thin layer. And then this is the West Coast Vancouver. And I like to do the pour method just because. Knock off some excess. And then if there's anything around the cuticle area, make sure you try and get it before everything hardens. I'm going to go ahead and do the same on my pinky. So a thin layer. Staying away from my cuticle. And if you ever get any dip powder or dip liquid, excuse me, on your skin, you want to be sure to wipe it before you pour the powder on it, because anywhere you put the powder that liquid is will stick and will harden. Okay, knock off the excess, and then I do a quick little swipe around my cuticle just to make sure I get clean cuticle areas. Now, when you're working with multiple different colors, you could do one of two things. So you can do one layer of each color, working with all three of your colors, or you could just do your 2 or 3 layers of each color, put the color away, and then move on. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do my second layer of Vancouver. I'm going to do both my index and my pinky. So this is my second layer for my index of the West Coast Vancouver. I really love this color, this purplish mauve. I cannot wait because the Empire glitter that I'm going to be using from Revel is really going to, it's really going to pull the purple out of that glitter. I'm super excited for it. I think it was a good choice to swap them out. Although I think that that 3 set that I bought from Revel would be perfect also. As far as going around your cuticles, you could use a variety of different tools. Orange sticks are really good for going around them. You just want to make sure that you're just getting it all off of the skin, because once it's dry, it is not coming off. So just make sure you are wiping as much as you possibly can. And that's why I think it's better to do like thinner layers. You can always add more, but sometimes you cannot take away the massive amount that you've put on your nail. Alright, so this is my second layer for my pinky. There we go, okay. Pour it on. Go around with my cuticle tool. Alright. Alright, next step after you do your 2 layers of powder, I am going to do 1 dip into clear, and I am using, this is new for me, Revel Radiance. Now, I used Revel's Brilliance before, and kind of regretted it, honestly, just because the glow was so intense, which I'm probably going to regret this also. It was like I could have directed traffic in my bedroom at nighttime. Like I had glow sticks on my finger, which I'm sure this is probably very similar, but I'm going to give it one more try, and I'm doing it as a top coat this time. Last time I did it as a base coat, and it was insane. I couldn't get it off. I had to strip my nails completely down, take off my builder gel. So this is a top coat, so it's only going to be a one-time thing for this mani, so I'm okay with it. Okay, so we're going to do the thin, same exact thing, thin layer of the liquid, and then we're going to, I'm actually going to just dip it directly into this clear. So thin layer, make sure nothing's on the skin, dip it into the powder, and then again, wipe if there's anything around the cuticle area. I'm going to do the same thing to the pinky. Okay, next I'm going to do the same thing with my index, my ring finger. This is with Revel's Hustler. So I'm on my second coat now. Again, I'm doing a thin layer. Some of the colors you need, honestly, some of the colors that I've used from West Coast Dips are so pigmented, I've only had to use 1 layer, which is insane. Other brands, some of them need 3 layers. It really just depends on the look that you're going for and how pigmented they are. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the ring finger after the 2 coats. I'm going to go ahead and apply another of the dip base and then dip it into the clear the powder. So the point of capping off in clear is whenever you go to file, this way you're not filing down into your actual color, because some pigments will actually turn white. And when you go and file into your glitters, they typically will turn silver if you go and you're filing off the actual glitter part. So if you cap off, you will not ruin your colors. And also this one glows in the dark, so it's an added bonus. Okay, and then next I am going to do Revel's Empire on my thumb and my middle finger. Take a look at this color. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so excited. I love it. I love good glitters. Oh my. Okay, let's get started. All right, so roll with me on this thought here. So you see how the purples all kind of migrate to the top. That can happen if you like shake your jar like that. So kind of by gravity, the smaller pieces will pack down and the bigger pieces kind of float to the top. So the way that I'm going to do this specific glitter is I'm going to do one coat pour and then one coat I'm going to dip. The pour coat is going to give me the thin, fine gold base layer, and then the dip will give me this top coating of the purple over top. All right, so I'm going to start with my thumb. Same thing as before, we're doing a thin liquid layer over top, staying away from the cuticle so we don't flood, and then wiping any excess if I always get it on my skin, it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm going to pour out that like initial purple part, and then so you can see only a couple purples stuck. Awesome. All right, same thing with my middle finger while we're waiting for the thumb to dry. Okay. Wipe my cuticle. Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to pour the rest of this glitter into my little container here, and I'm going to start shaking it, and you can see all the purples start to migrate towards the top. It's magic. Okay, one thing that I do differently with glitters than solids is I really scrub the heck out of them before I do my second layer. The point of this is if you have any glitter pieces that are raised up and you go to put your clear coat over top of it and then you go to file, when you go to file, they're still going to be raised up and eventually you're going to file down on them. So you really want to make sure that you scrub, and if there's anything sticking up, you want to remove it. So let me see here. I have my cuticle nipper here. I'm just going to take this tiny little purple guy out of there. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead with our second layer. So I'm going to start with my thumb. Again with a thin layer. The biggest learning curve for me from switching from polishes to dips was not flooding my cuticle. And the less is more kind of approach. You can always add more, but my goodness, if you put too much, you cannot take it away unless you, oh my god, I was making my cuticles bleed at one point. It was horrible. Because I was flooding my cuticles, I was putting way too much liquid on. Okay, so that's why I'm like so diligent in making sure that there's nothing on my skin. All right, and then we're just gonna lay this guy right in there. Oh, it's so pretty. And then I like to press down whenever I'm doing glitters for that chunky glitter adherence, just to kind of lay it down. And around our cuticle. I just have to stop for a second. Like, look how, it's not even finished. Look how absolutely gorgeous this color is. I could do an entire mani with this color, just this color. I've never do that, a whole mani with just the glitters, but this one's a winner. All right, I'm going to shake it out again to get the purples to migrate to the top, and then I'm going to do my middle finger for its second coat. Okay, here we go for my second coat for my middle finger, and I have already used the stiff brush and brushed this off. You want to make sure too that you do that just because you could very easily contaminate your liquids by getting excessive glitter on your brush and then sticking it into your bottle. Alright. Lay that guy in there, press them down, and as you can tell, like, this is not hard at all. This is a super easy glitter to use. I think it would be perfect for a beginner. I have definitely used some glitters in the beginning that were, whew, what a struggle. Sometimes I can't even finish, or I couldn't even finish the mani that I was trying to accomplish using the glitter. But this one, oh yeah, she's a winner. At this point, so I did 2 layers of the glitter on both fingers. So at this point, I like to evaluate what my glitter nails look like. Do I need to add any more? Are there any like really vacant areas that don't have any of the chunky? But this one, I feel like it went on so perfectly, I don't need to add any little rogue pieces to fill in some vacancies. So I'm going to go ahead and top coat with the clear. Okay, before I do my top coat with the clear for my glitter, I'm going to make sure, take a stiff brush, make sure there's no tiny little glitter pieces loose. The point of this is I do not want to contaminate this clear with glitter. Oh my goodness. So I am actually going to do the pour over method just to be sure. I'm going to do my thin layer of clear, dip base. I can see I got some right over here. Woo! A little bit of flooding. Okay, and then I'm going to pour. And then wipe my cuticle. Alright, and then same thing to the middle. I'm going to do the coat of base, dip liquid, and then I'm going to do the pour over. Woo! Alright. Clean it up. All right. So as far as this next step, they like to call this part trust the process, because when you look at your nails, especially if you're doing like some crazy glitter things, like this looks horrible, right? Trust the process. We have to use the activator to harden it. We're going to file, buff, and then activate again and use our top coat. But as of right now, ooh, this looks scary. So I'm going to brush off any of the excess clear powder that I have. And we are going to go in with the activator. So we're going to do, I like to do 2 coats of the activator for the first time here. So, and you can see like once it spreads and hits the rest of the nail, you're getting like a good coating. So anywhere where there is dip, base, and powder, once this activator hits it, it completely hardens. Now this iGel Beauty Liquid Activator, it takes about 30 seconds for it to work. Whereas some of the other ones, I like the ManiBoss one is the other brand that I use. That'll harden right away. But if you give this one about 30 seconds, when you hit it, it still sounds soft. Whenever you hit it and it's ready, you'll hear it clink. All right, listen to this. There's definitely a difference. They are ready. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just file and buff, and we'll be back. All right, so I'm done filing and buffing. So I used my 100-180 file and a buffer block. Then I went and washed my hands with a scrub brush. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead in with the second coat of the activator. I'm gonna thoroughly coat everything. We're gonna wait 2 minutes for this to dry and set in, and then I'm going to take a lint-free cloth and then just wipe off if there's any excess. That way when I go in with my top coat, I don't get any of the excess on my top coat. Now, my glitter nails kind of looked, so you can see like on the tip here, it's kind of cloudy. Now, I'm not really sure why it did that. That was the first time I used that, the Revel Radiance Clear. So I'm not really sure if that was the issue of why. That has never happened to me before, but I tried to buff it out, but I was getting to certain points where I was buffing out the purple pigment of the glitter and it was turning silver. So unfortunately, this glitter is not turning out as pretty as I'd like, but I do have a left hand. So I'm going to do my left hand with my tried and true Pampered Pretties Clear or my Brittsy Dip Clear. I've never had an issue with either one of those brands, so, and we'll see. It's either the clear, because I'm going to do the method exactly the same way. It's either this dip powder or me, I guess, but I've never had an issue before right now. Alright, so I waited a full minute. I wiped off any excess that was left on my nail. And I'm going to go ahead and this is the fourth step of the iGel dip liquid system. It is the dip top coat. So I like to do 2 top coats, letting them dry in between. Just, that's so frustrating because man, it's super cloudy in some spots. What a bummer. Well, at least I do my manis every other day, every 2 days. I'll probably take this off, pop it off tomorrow. It's the beauty of the peel base. Alright, I'm gonna let this dry and then do my second top coat. Alright, so the glitter was driving me nuts, so I ended up redoing it, and I used my Brittsy Dips Tried and True Glass Clear. 0 issues. So I'm not really sure what the problem was, but it was definitely with that clear Radiance dip from Revel that I used. Alright, so that is it. I topped off with 2 top coats of the iGel Dip Liquids Beauty. And then I'm going to switch out my base coat brush and put it into the Brush Saver bottle. And that is it. I like to always finish off with some cuticle oil. I absolutely love this Grimes Ridge cuticle oil. So I have a whole bunch. You know, you get them from every different brand that you get dip powders from. But this Grimes Ridge, I am a huge fan of it. It smells delicious. And it's super, like, I feel like it's more concentrated. It's like a heavier oil. I don't know if I'm making that up or what, but I definitely feel like there's a difference to me. And another thing I like to use is this Hippie Skin body butter from Unbound Elements. I get it off of Etsy. Oh my goodness. It's this whipped moisturizing lotion, and it just kind of absolutely melts into your skin. I mean, and it's called Hippie Skin. I wish you guys could smell this. Alright, well that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed dipping with me even with the little errors that we had to go through. But that's how we learn, right? All right, till next time.